money, your taxes, your truck, and your road to success in the trucking industry. This is Trucking Business and Beyond, the show that puts the money where it belongs, back in your pocket.
Welcome to my world. I'm your host, Kevin Rutherford. The website is letstruck.com. The number to join us, 8888 Road Dog. It is Monday, March 5th. We are here live. Pick up the phone and give me a call. If you haven't heard, we are back live in the midnight slot 5 nights a week. We did it all last week. We're back again this week, and we are here from now on. So this is your opportunity. Phone lines are open. Pick up that phone and give me a call right now. Anything goes. 8888 Road Dog. The show is all about the business of trucking. We'll take your calls and answer your questions about trucks, money, fuel mileage, maintenance, tires, taxes, technology, health and fitness on the road, getting started as an owner-operator, finding freight, working with brokers, getting your authority, you name it. We'll talk about it. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call. We're going to get to those calls in just a little bit. You know, it's been a very busy year so far for us here. The last quarter of 2017 was very busy. The first quarter of 2018 has been very busy, and it's because there's just a lot going on in the industry. It's really a good time to be in trucking. Rates are up. The ELD mandate was a big issue and continues to be because we're still not under full compliance. That's coming soon. The tax law change was major. Freight rates have been up and strong. There's plenty of freight around. It's just a great time to be in the industry. I always look forward to going to truck shows in years like this. I remember truck shows in 2008 and 9 when the big companies were all pulling out. The economy was horrible. And it really felt to me and to a lot of other people in business that after the recession in 2008, up until just recently, probably 2017, that it felt like we were holding our breath and just waiting for something to change. Even companies that were healthy, they were holding on to their cash. They weren't spending, they weren't investing, they weren't hiring new people. And that really started to turn around in 2017. And with the tax law changes, that seems to be continuing. And because of it, I've been getting a lot of invitations to speak at events. And for several years, I really cut way back. I was only speaking 1 or 2 times a year. Right now, I'm speaking about 2 times a month. There's just a lot going on. I've been on the road for almost 2 months, and I'll probably be on the road for another more than a month. Probably won't get home till sometime around mid-April to the beginning of May. And then I have another event in May in Dallas. So along with that means I've got to write a lot of material. So I've been doing a lot of writing and thinking about a lot of things. I've also been giving the course online. I'm going to tell you about that in a little bit. You might want to grab something to write with. Stop holding the steering wheel and start driving your business. We're about ready to kick off our second class coming up in less than a week. So while I was writing material, I really started to look. And the other thing that's going on, I'm doing a lot of writing. There's all these things happening in the industry. And we're also closing out a lot of accounting for our clients and doing their tax returns. So I spend a lot of time looking at numbers this time of year. And I'm very, very surprised, pleasantly surprised with how profitable some owner-operators are. Like record-setting numbers for 2017, numbers I've never seen. I've seen more single truck owner-operators net over 100,000 than I've ever seen before. And I've always been fascinated with this. I remember my very first year as an owner-operator. It was a long time ago. But I remember looking, I was the obviously the young guy. I bought my first truck at 22, and I worked out of a terminal with about 20 other contractors. And most of those guys had lots of experience as drivers and owner-operators. Most of them were in their 40s. So I was paying attention. And I remember wondering, even though we all did the same thing, we all owned trucks, we all ran local and moved freight, some people were very successful and others were barely getting by. I remember there were always contractors that had a nice house, a new car, and there were contractors who could barely make it to work some days because their car wouldn't run. And I thought to myself, what's the difference? You know, some of it is how you manage your personal money. But they were always struggling in the business as well. It wasn't like they were putting all their money into their truck because half the time it wasn't running. And that was what made me very curious. What's the difference? And I started asking a lot of questions, and I've been doing that now for 3 decades. And here we are 3 decades later, and I still see the exact same thing. I still see this year where some owner-operators are just killing it. And it's just amazing to watch the people who are very successful at this. And yet I read articles every day and I see posts on social media that the ELD mandate is killing the independent contractor and people can't afford this and their profits are down. What's the difference? And I've spent 3 decades studying the difference. Mostly the difference is that the people who struggle constantly have no plan. It's not that they're not good at driving. They're clearly good at that. They've been doing it a very, very long time. If they wouldn't have been any good at it, or if they were dangerous, they would have been out of the industry by now. But they're still here. They just struggle year after year after year. And it's mostly because they don't have a plan. One of the seminars that I'll be giving, I cover a topic I call tactics versus strategies. And it takes me a while to really get down deep into what that means and explain it. But tactics, we can describe tactics as the things we do every day to achieve our goals. You know, it's how you get the freight moved. It's how you get your truck work done. It's how whether you focus on fuel economy or not, whether you focus on lowering your maintenance cost or not, whether you build relationships with people. Those are all tactics. And tactics are powerful. You have to have them. And the more tactics you have, good tactics, the more successful you could potentially be. The problem is tactics without strategy really doesn't work. And strategy is what most people are missing. Strategy is the big picture. Strategy could also be called your mission. Your big goals could be strategies. So I've had a strategy in this industry for 30 years. I want to help as many people as possible be successful as owner-operators and build fleets. That's my strategy. That hasn't changed. The tactics and the way I do it have changed thousands, tens of thousands of times. But because I have a strategy and I constantly look at that strategy and build my tactics around it, then my tactics are much more successful. And looking at the course that I'm getting ready to teach again online, Stop Holding the Steering Wheel and Start Driving Your Business, we just watch people come out of that program. They're brand new owner-operators, and I can already see that many of them are going to be far more successful than owner-operators I know that have decades of experience. Because the whole point of this course, I teach this course over a 16-week period, and it's all about building a strategy. And the advantage for these people is they get their strategy built from day one, prior to day one. People were in this course before they get started. That's the whole point. But a lot of people in this course have been in business for years, and they still got a lot out of this course because I teach the idea and the concept of strategy, of having a master plan. And then I teach a lot of tactics on how to do things right and step by step. But I think the real secret to why this course has been so successful and why it's working for so many people is because I teach that strategy. And over 16 weeks, I actually help you build that strategy. Most people didn't even realize that's what was happening until I pointed it out. I've got to get to a break. We're going to come back and get to your calls. When we come back, I will tell you how to get signed up for that course because you've got less than a week left. It will probably sell out. We're more than halfway sold out now. So grab something to write with, and I'll give you the details, and you can get signed up. You don't want to miss this course. It's starting in a week from today. We'll be right back. I'm Kevin Rutherford.
Are you a driver that wants to take control of your own destiny and have the freedom to make the choices that affect you and your loved ones every day? If the answer is yes,
then Stop Holding the Steering Wheel audio program was designed for you.
in this one-of-a-kind audio program, Kevin Rutherford reveals the secrets to running a successful trucking business, taking the plunge to owner-operator, finding and negotiating for a new truck, and managing money once you earn it. Are you willing to do the hard work? It's time to stop holding the steering wheel and start driving your business. Order your copy today and create the business you've always wanted. Visit our online store at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare Team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
Hey, AudioRoad listener, what is your profit per mile? How about your cost per mile or even your bottom line? Stop driving blind and know your numbers. Profit Gauges is absolutely simple bookkeeping specifically for owner-operators. Have instant access to business and tax reports that will help you increase your profits and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Sign up for Profit Gauges today and take advantage of our 30-day free trial. Know your numbers and master the journey. Visit our website at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
Did you know that 35% of fuel economy can be attributed to your driving habits? Use the Scan Gauge KR to maximize your driving efficiency. The Scan Gauge KR has built-in and programmable digital gauges that allow you to read instant fuel mileage, average fuel economy, and dozens more gauges as you drive. Get to know your truck and learn how you can improve your fuel cost and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Drive smarter and master the journey. Get yours today at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
As a professional driver, there is no question that fuel is your highest cost. Fuel Gauges tracks each fuel up, provides your 30, 60, and 90-day miles per gallon average, also tracks maintenance and modifications. Best of all, it is completely free to use. There is no excuse not to use your miles per gallon and start improving your fuel economy. Download the Fuel Gauges app today and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Let Fuel Gauges help you master the journey. Visit our website at letstruck.com or call TribeCare Team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
Welcome back. I'm Kevin Rutherford. The phone lines are busy. I'm going to get to those calls in just a second. I do want to let you know on how to get signed up for this course because time is running out. You don't want to miss this. Sunday will be the last day to sign up. That's less than a week. 1 week from today, we kick off the 16-week course itself. So the way this works is all of the material is online. We release the material 1 week at a time over 16 weeks. And every week I teach a live webinar online. So they're anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long every Monday. And I cover the material for that week. I assign homework. Yeah, I know, homework. Book reviews, book recommendations. There's lots of material. It's up to you how much you want to do. I will promise you the people who really applied themselves in the first course are doing outstanding. I'm hearing back from them, and I am amazed at how well they are doing already as owner-operators. I'm very happy with this course, and I'm excited to kick off the second one. You also get access to a private Facebook group where you can ask questions. I monitor the group, I answer questions, but so do a lot of the other people in there because many of them have experience as owner-operators. We had a couple fleet owners that went through the last course, and we allow those people to stay in the Facebook group because they're a great resource to help answer questions. But it is a private Facebook group. You have to go through the course to be a part of that community. The course itself is normally $500. We have $75 off on that right now, so you can get the course for $425. And really, it comes down to about $25 a week. And we do it on a payment plan, so you pay $100 a month. It's really easy. You don't have to have all the money up front. But you do need to get signed up by Sunday, because once Sunday is over, then the course is closed for that entire 16-week period. And then I usually take a couple weeks off, and we'll do another one after that. But this is a limited time to sign up. Once you're in, you have access to all of the material online forever. Even though the class is over, you'll still have all the access to the material. And there's checklists and worksheets, step-by-step guides, videos, an audio file that you can listen to while you're driving, so you can learn while you're driving as well. There really is nothing else like it, and you're never going to find more value in a course than what's in this one right here. There's two ways you can get signed up. You can go to the website, letstruck.com, and look at the University tab. You'll see the course, Stop Holding the Steering Wheel and Start Driving Your Business. Get signed up for that. If you have any questions or you want somebody to walk you through any of this, you can always call our TribeCare team. It's 855-800-3835. The last course sold out. We allow 100 people in the class. I think I looked this morning, there was almost 60. So there's still some room, but I wouldn't wait much longer. All right, if you have any questions about that, you can try and get through tonight. I'm going to get to the phone calls right now. We're off to Iowa. Dan, welcome to the program.
Hey, Kevin. Got a quick question on taxes. This sounds totally bizarre. Not sure if it's accurate or not, but I was advised by a friend of mine that's a CPA and also an owner-operator of something he stumbled upon through his tax preparer, and that is if your truck was down for maintenance or was broke down for 27 days or more within the calendar year, doesn't have to be 27 days straight, but totals 27 days or more within the calendar year, that you're exempt from taxes up to a certain amount. This sounds bizarre to me, but could you shed any light on this or debunk this as BS?
Yeah, it's bullshit. Seriously. I have heard some really, really crazy stuff about taxes in the 20-some years I've been doing taxes. that one is getting moved to the top of my list. That will be the number one piece of bullshit I have heard about taxes in my entire career.
Right, because any of us, we can go take a month off, put the truck in the shop, and we don't have to pay taxes on our first X. It's ridiculous to me. I'm like, what? So, pull me the code, send me some text, and send me this quote-unquote paperwork that you fill out for it. Yeah, wow.
Well, here's another question I have. This seems a little odd to me, and maybe I heard it wrong, but maybe not. You said he's a CPA and an owner-operator, correct?
Correct.
And nothing wrong with that. I mean, that I know a few. But then you said he got this from his tax preparer. What the hell does he need a tax preparer for? He's a CPA and he can't figure out how to do his own damn tax return?
Why do you think I called you on this instead of just saying, okay?
Well, I'm glad you did, because this kind of stuff just amazes me that this starts to make the rounds and people believe this. Here, basically, as complicated as the IRS makes tax returns, and they are complicated, every time I have to explain something about taxes, I always think, I'm never going to be able to cover it all. But we could simplify business taxes. Basically, the IRS says this. Your business has money come in and it has money go out. And the things that you spend money on for your business are deductible against that revenue. Whatever is left over, you are going to pay tax on. There are no strategies around that.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think the federal government came up with a mercy rule because you had a string of bad luck.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Other question, more on the way less absurd note, lost wages for owner-operators. Now, again, kind of the same premise. If we're broke down, and this sounds like it can be in the realm of possibility, so I'm going to ask you, if we're broke down for, say, 3 days, can I average out what I typically earn in a day and write off some or all of that every day I'm down for either repairs or because of breakdown or because of
Let's go back to my last statement. All the IRS cares about, how much money came in and how much money went out, and what's left over you're going to pay tax on. There are no losses. There are no deductions for time you spent doing anything. There are no deductions for unpaid miles. None of those things exist. Like I said, the simplest way to think about this is all the IRS cares about, money came in, you got to deduct certain things for business expenses. What's left over you're going to pay tax on.
That's kind of what I figured. Now, the self-employment tax, that's right around 14.6 to 15%, correct?
It's 15.3 exactly.
15.3
on
the net.
Yep.
And then that's on top of, right. And that doesn't change at all.
Never.
That's for everybody, like you said. And then you just add on your personal income tax, and that's just based off a bracket. That's based off of the net before self-employment tax is taken out. So before you take out self-employment tax, you look at your net and you go by the bracket.
No, that's where it gets complicated. So the self-employment tax is actually easy. You just described it, and then we got the rate right. It's your net after all your expenses, and it's times 15.3%. Very straightforward. Now things get complicated.
Okay.
Now we take that net number, and we get to deduct half of your self-employment tax from it. So now we have a new net number. Then that number gets adjusted by all kinds of crap. How many kids you have, how old you are, how your mortgage interest, your real estate tax, your charitable contributions, sometimes health deductions, sometimes moving expenses. This is where we get into all the other tax laws. So it's easy for me to tell somebody what their self-employment tax is going to be. I can estimate that. I could be almost exact. Income tax, forget it. I mean, that's why we have to pay people to do tax returns, because that's where the tax code really starts to get complicated. Like I said, business is pretty straightforward. You had money come in, you had money go out, what's left you pay tax on. It's the personal income tax that gets incredibly complicated.
Right. Okay. I
And
think that's
and
pretty
you-
much it. Appreciate your time. Oh,
You're
sorry.
welcome, and I'll just go ahead and explain this while the music is playing. There isn't one bracket to apply either. We have the 10% bracket up to a certain amount. Then if you go over that, the amount of money you earn that goes over it gets taxed at the new bracket, and you keep moving up, so you might have to multiply your income by several different tax brackets to get the correct amount of tax. That's why tax returns are so complicated. We'll be right back. Stick around. I'm Kevin Rutherford.
Hey, AudioRoad listener, what is your profit per mile? How about your cost per mile, or even your bottom line? Stop driving blind and know your numbers. Profit Gauges is absolutely simple bookkeeping specifically for owner-operators. Have instant access to business and tax reports that will help you increase your profits and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Sign up for Profit Gauges today and take advantage of our 30-day free trial. Know your numbers and master the journey. Visit our website at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
Did you know that 35% of fuel economy can be attributed to your driving habits? Use the Scan Gauge KR to maximize your driving efficiency. The Scan Gauge KR has built-in and programmable digital gauges that allow you to read instant fuel mileage, average fuel economy, and dozens more gauges as you drive. Get to know your truck and learn how you can improve your fuel cost and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Drive smarter and master the journey. Get yours today at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
As a professional driver, there is no question that fuel is your highest cost. Fuel Gauges tracks each fuel up, provides your 30, 60, and 90-day miles per gallon average, also tracks maintenance and modifications. Best of all, it is completely free to use. There is no excuse not to use your miles per gallon and start improving your fuel economy. Download the Fuel Gauges app today and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Let Fuel Gauges help you master the journey. Visit our website at letstruck.com or call TribeCare Team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
Are you a driver that wants to take control of your own destiny and have the freedom to make the choices that affect you and your loved ones every day? If the answer is yes,
Then Stop Holding the Steering Wheel audio program was designed for you.
in this one-of-a-kind audio program, Kevin Rutherford reveals the secrets to running a successful trucking business, taking the plunge to owner-operator, finding and negotiating for a new truck, and managing money once you earn it. Are you willing to do the hard work? It's time to stop holding the steering wheel and start driving your business. Order your copy today and create the business you've always wanted. Visit our online store at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
Hey, have you heard? We have an app to make listening to our shows easier than ever. It's free, it's simple, it does one thing, and it does it really well. Download the app, open it, and listen to our shows. The Power Hour, Questions from the Road, Destination Health, and more. Listen live, listen anytime, and never miss a show again. To find it, search your app store for AudioRoad. One word. That's AudioRoad. It's one more way we help you master the journey. Welcome back. I'm Kevin Rutherford. The number to join us, 8888 Road Dog. I'm going to get right back to the calls. I do want to remind you, if you don't have our app yet to listen to the shows, you really need to get it. And we made it easier to find. You don't have to go searching around on Google or in your app store. If you go to our website, letstruck.com, it's right at the top of every page on the site. So no matter where you are on our site, just look at the very top. You'll see two links, one for Android, one for Apple. Download it. It's completely free, and it does one thing, and it does it really well. You just open up the app, and you can listen to our shows. You don't need to sign in. You don't need a password. You don't need to subscribe to anything or follow anything. You just open up the app, and you listen. You can listen to the live shows, like right now people are listening to us on the app. And you can listen to all of our shows anytime you want. And again, it's free, and it's always free. So check it out. Go to the website, letstruck.com, and get your copy of that app. Let's head off to Tennessee this time. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Hey, Kevin. I've been following you since, 15 years when you was back in Orlando. And I owe a lot to you for my success. Been a fleet owner, had up to 8 trucks at one time, and I'm getting older and winding down. I only have one truck now. It's paid for, been paid for 5 years. Got it on a dedicated run, making 254 miles for all miles.
Wow.
And got a part-time driver. Yeah, it's a tanker run, and we're loaded both ways. And after fuel surcharge and people I'm leased to get their percentage, I'm at 254 mile. And then I got a part-time driver. We run the truck 7 days a week. So,
fantastic.
I've got all I need with one truck.
Yeah.
But I've got to negotiate with a guy that's an old friend. We've been friends 35 years, worked together in management before. One of my old customers, when I had my own authority, he's having a problem finding carriers to carry his freight. So he asked me I've got 2 trucks that I'm trying to sell. He asked me about putting my trucks back on and getting my authority and dedicating them to him. And I told him better than that, let me sell him the 2 trucks and him get the authority and me run the trucking side for him. And, I told him what a great time it is to be in the trucking business.
Right.
And I don't know how to go about, I would like for this to be something that when I do retire, I can still have some income off of. I don't know what to ask him for as far as, how we set this up to where, how much he pays me or how much down the road if I build, a successful trucking business for him, I feel like when I retire, I still should get something out of it.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the way I think you should do this. Rather than just base everything on a salary or a wage. Now, clearly, there should be a salary or a wage, and that should be based on what anybody would make in that similar position. And a lot of times that might not be a lot. You can hire people to do dispatch and all those different jobs for not all that much money. But that's a fair way to set a wage. Now, what I would do when I set this up is I would set this up as an S-Corp, and I would figure out, what percentage each one of you is going to own of this company. That way, everybody in an S-Corp has to draw a salary. And that salary should be based, like I just said, on what it would take to pay somebody to do that, whether you're an owner or not. And that's how it works in our company here. We have 3 owners, and we each get paid based on the job we do. But then in an S-Corp, above and beyond that, based on your percentage of ownership, you always get profit. So the profit is what's left over after all the expenses are paid, including everybody's wages. And then whatever profit is left over gets distributed based on percentage. If you own 25% of the corporation, you get 25% of the profits each year. And that happens whether you work or not. So the wage, your salary, you only get paid if you work, just like any job. But as an owner of the corporation, you get paid forever as long as that company continues to make profit. Your profit has nothing to do with the work you put into the corporation. It is your pay for your investment into the corporation. So that's how you structure a company so that people get paid just for being owners without doing any work. So then the next question is, okay, how do we set up the corporation and who owns what? There you sit down and you look at, rather than him buying the trucks, you could contribute those trucks into the corporation. And it's easy to set a value on a truck. We just look at what it would sell for in the market. That now becomes your contribution into the corporation. Rather than him getting money and buying the trucks from you, he could take that same amount of money and invest into the company, and you would use it for startup and, hiring drivers and all kinds of other things. And if we did it that way, you two would be 50-50. Or maybe the value of the 2 trucks is more than he can come up with. So maybe, you contribute the 2 trucks into the corporation, and he can only come up with a smaller amount of money, so maybe it's a 70-30 split. But that would be the best way to structure this so that you have some skin in the game, and, you already are making a pretty big contribution with the trucks and, the other things you're bringing. And that way, you get paid when you work, but if at some point you decide to retire, you still get paid a profit every year from the company.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
And this,
I sure appreciate your help on that.
You're welcome. And I would highly recommend you do this with an attorney. It's not going to cost you a ton of money, but it makes sense to get this all in writing from an attorney. They can guide you through some of the issues that, we don't have time to talk about here. You might spend $1,000, maybe a little more on an attorney to get this set up, but it'll be well worth it. It'll be set up right. Everybody will understand what's going on, and if something does happen later, it'll be clear how it should work.
Right. Okay. Sounds good, Dan.
All right. Well, good luck with that, and congratulations. Wow, you have been listening a long time, but great setup you've got now, and I think this is a good idea going forward. I think it's a great opportunity for you. And that's what happens. This is a customer you had before, and now they're coming back to you. That's what building good relationships really does. That's why I talk about that so much. Let's head north of the border this time. We're off to Canada. Dan, welcome to the program.
Thank you for taking my call, Kevin. I've got a 2003 Peterbilt with a C15, 18 speed. I bought the truck about 19 months ago. Platinum rebuild. About 3 years left on the warranty when I bought it. Tranny the same. New paint job. Really nice truck. I drove it like I stole it before I bought it, with a trailer on the back, and just ran tip-top. So I sent the truck over to the shop, and I had a wet line put on it. And I picked it up about a week later after I sold my other truck. And ever since, I've had a hell of a stumble. Sometimes it was so violent of a stumble, and nobody could pin it down. So I was down at CAT saying, waving my warranty in front of them, and they had no problem honoring it, and they couldn't figure it out. And so after a fourth visit there, they started putting injectors in, and they didn't know. They basically were flipping coins because they were driving up and down the road with me with their laptop plugged into my fuel.
Right.
You name it, they were doing it. And they put number 4 in on the next visit. They put number 6 in, and he said, you know what? I'd love to change all your injectors, he said, but management upstairs would have a problem saying, hey, how did this guy drive in here with no injectors firing, and we swapped out 6, right? So they did one at a time. Long story short is after I changed all the parts that were pretty well wore down anyway and ready for, like, for example, injector harness, engine harness, all the sensors, and I still have that problem. We dropped the fuel tank, checked the suction tube, make sure it wasn't cracked, checked the exhaust, new fuel pump, new fuel lines, you name it. I even talked to Pittsburgh Power, but unless I drive down there...
Hold that thought. The music's playing. I've got to get to a break. This could be a tough one. Hey, if you want to join us, we just opened up a couple lines. I can take a couple calls in the final segment, so dial us right now, 8888 Road Dog. I'll be able to get to you. I'm going to come back and see if I can help Dan right after this. Stick around. I'm Kevin Rutherford.
Join us for the 2018 CMC Live Seminar, the biggest, baddest educational event dedicated to the trucking industry. This event takes place September 17th through the 21st at the Mid-America Center in Council Bluffs, Iowa. This 5-day seminar focuses solely on the unique challenges and opportunities that truck drivers face every day, not only on the job, but in all facets of life. Learn from the industry's top leaders, network with fellow drivers, and start running more effective and profitable businesses. Spots are filling up fast. Don't miss this opportunity to take action on your business, your life, and your future. Together, we can help you master the journey. Register online at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL with any questions. That's 855-800-3835.
Hey, AudioRoad listener, what is your profit per mile? How about your cost per mile, or even your bottom line? Stop driving blind and know your numbers. Profit Gauges is absolutely simple bookkeeping specifically for owner-operators. Have instant access to business and tax reports that will help you increase your profits and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Sign up for Profit Gauges today and take advantage of our 30-day free trial. Know your numbers and master the journey. Visit our website at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
Did you know that 35% of fuel economy can be attributed to your driving habits? Use the Scan Gauge KR to maximize your driving efficiency. The Scan Gauge KR has built-in and programmable digital gauges that allow you to read instant fuel mileage, average fuel economy, and dozens more gauges as you drive. Get to know your truck and learn how you can improve your fuel cost and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Drive smarter and master the journey. Get yours today at letstruck.com or call our TribeCare team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
As a professional driver, there is no question that fuel is your highest cost. Fuel Gauges tracks each fuel up, provides your 30, 60, and 90-day miles per gallon average, also tracks maintenance and modifications. Best of all, it is completely free to use. There is no excuse not to use your miles per gallon and start improving your fuel economy. Download the Fuel Gauges app today and keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Let Fuel Gauges help you master the journey. Visit our website at letstruck.com or call TribeCare Team at 855-800-FUEL. That's 855-800-3835.
welcome back. I'm Kevin Rutherford. We're down to the final segment. I'm going to get right back to the phone calls. I was talking with Dan in Canada. So, Dan, you know, you're putting me on the spot here. The dealer with their hands on it can't figure it out. Pittsburgh Power couldn't figure it out over the phone. What can I maybe help you with?
Well, I was almost trying to, let me turn my radio down here. I was almost trying to pick your brain to see if something like this would have come to your ear in the past. I've listened to your program for quite a few years when I ran stateside, and I know a lot of guys have called in, so I thought, you know.
Yeah, something similar.
So I got no smoke out the pipe.
Okay, two thoughts come to mind. First off, this isn't a bridge engine, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, because
6NZ.
Okay. Boy, that should be simple then. You know, if it was the bridge, you've got some weird electronics in there that can cause some issues. But the 6NZ is a pretty straightforward engine. ECM's not all that complicated. How about fuel lines? Have they been replaced?
I changed all the fuel supply. Yeah, I did it myself. I changed all the fuel lines from start to stop, right from the tanks, right to the primary filter to the pump. You know, I even put a new fuel pressure regulator in, throttle position sensor. The injectors were all pulled to check the seals were okay, and they were all right. Stuck them back in.
Boy.
I mean, yeah, it's a really, really odd
one.
You know what? And today it's running tip-top for no reason.
Okay, so there is a problem that is much more common on a Series 60, but if I remember right, I think it can occur on a 6NZ. I'm trying to roll back through the database here. I had it happen to me on a Series 60. That's why I was really familiar with it. I've had a lot of callers. It would cut out hard, really hard, and then come right back on, and then sometimes it would run fantastic, and it wouldn't do it for days or a week at a time. And it was a cam sensor, and it would never throw a code. It would cut out too fast, and it wouldn't throw a code. And we actually, that was when I had the shop in Tennessee, Truck City Service, and Robert and I actually found that after working on it for a very long time. And we had several other people that, you know, we were able to go right to that and figure that out. I just can't remember if the 6NZ does that or not.
Yeah, I changed the cam and crank sensors.
Okay, well then.
Every sensor on the engine. Every sensor on the engine is being changed. You know, injector harness, engine harness, fuel lines. You have converter valve on the fuel, divider valve on the fuel.
You have been thorough.
Every weekend, I got it.
Here's the only thing I would have left. If this were me, I'd be on my way to Pittsburgh. I just don't know who else would have a shot at fixing this. If they can't do it, I don't even know what I would do then. But I don't know that I would waste time with anybody else.
I wrote a letter to the president. Yeah, I wrote a letter to the president of Caterpillar after I found out that they did well on the stock market the last quarter. I thought maybe they'll want to open their wallet a little deeper. So
yeah.
Anyway, I wrote a letter, and he's got all the big boys involved. They put a brand spanking new ECM on my truck, which I'm running with now, and for about 3 weeks, and it didn't do a darn thing. And this morning when I got up, my motto is if you do nothing, nothing happens. So what I ended up doing was keeping my foot all the way to the floor on the throttle before I started the truck. Turned the key, didn't start it, turned the key, let everything cycle on and off, all the lights, all the bells and the whistles come on and go off. And then I turned the truck, I started the engine, and just as it fired, I let go of that throttle. And all day it's been running tip-top. And that's the first time I've done that. And I don't know what I've done, but like I said before, you do nothing, nothing happens. So I keep kind of poking around with things.
Well, you know, I think you've got a really, really good handle on how to troubleshoot things. I mean, you do things the way I do. You're methodical. You try things. At a certain point, you've tried all the things that make sense, and then you start trying anything. I mean, I do the exact same thing, and you know, sooner or later you find it. I think you've got a better shot of finding this on your own than most shops do. You're not likely to get that kind of attention at a shop. You're not likely to get somebody who puts that kind of thought into it, with the one exception that Pittsburgh Power just loves problems like this. They'll put people on it until they figure it out. And I know that's, a big thing to head down that way, but I think your best odds at figuring this out are going to either be yourself or maybe them.
Okay, I got you. Well, I built my own little shop to get me out of the snow, so at least I can crawl underneath without having to crawl back out and find my fingers again.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I can
that's right.
Keep digging.
There you
keep
go.
digging,
Well,
more or less. But
hey,
I'll let you get on with other calls there, and I really appreciate your time there, Kevin.
Well, I wish I could have helped more. If you figure this out, by all means, call me back or send me a message on Facebook or send it to support@Let's Truck, because I'd love to know what this turns out to be.
Okay, I'll do just that.
All
and
right.
Thank you very much. I've had a lot of guys call me with my blog on the internet, and I've told everybody that claims to have a similar or the same problem. I said, when you find it, let me know.
That's right.
I'll be the collector of information. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all stick together, we'll all figure it out.
That's right.
We'll all keep on trucking.
Well, good stuff. Thanks. Have a great
Thanks
evening.
again.
You're welcome. Let's head off to California. Kevin and Cheryl, welcome to the program.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. What's on your mind tonight?
You had a guy you mentioned went from 6 miles to the gallon to 9. But what did he do? I've got a brand new Volvo 780 with a D13, and I'm only getting 6 miles to the gallon. And I've put the tire things on, and I'm using an additive that's made in Calgary, where I live, and they're touting 12 to 15% improvement in
Okay,
fuel mileage,
so
but I'm still only getting.
I started off the show calling bullshit, and I'm going to call it again. Stop using the additive. Additives.
Okay.
The only thing a fuel additive can do, if we have a truck that maybe has a lot of miles on it, we get some injector buildup or some other things that can happen in a fuel system, a good additive could bring us back to original. But I have tested dozens and dozens of fuel additives over the years that have made all kinds of wild claims. I have never seen a single increase in fuel economy, much less 10%. That's insane, and it's just BS. It's not going to happen. So stop wasting your money on fuel additives, especially on a new truck. If you want to use a good injector cleaner a couple times a year, nothing wrong with that, and it'll keep things working correctly, but it's not going to make things better than original. It's just going to keep you at original. Now, I will say, you're at a disadvantage with that D13. Or you said a D12, right? We're talking about a Volvo. That's not a great engine for fuel economy, never has been. But it doesn't mean we can't do better than 6. Now, when you say, what has he done to his truck, I think if you go into fuel gauges where you can see everything that he does to his truck, part of fuel gauges, by the way, are you on fuel gauges? Uh-oh. Oh, I lost them. All right, well, I don't have enough time to take another call, so I'll try to answer what I can before I've got to wrap this up. If you're not on fuel gauges, start there, because you've got to track things, and you've got to track them accurately in order to be able to improve them. That's number one. If you don't have a scan gauge KR, get it, because then you're tracking every minute of every day while you're driving in the truck. So those two things are going to get you a big increase. Fuel gauges is free and the scan gauge is dirt cheap. That's a great way to get started. And then get some history, and I could go in and look at it then, and then call me back. But I forget the number of items that Steve has put into his truck. I think it's he might have 30 or 40 modifications listed. There are a lot of things you can do. Not as many things on brand new trucks, but still quite a bit. Everything from, fleet air filters to the flow below system to air tabs to very low rolling resistant tires. I mean, I could go on and on, but get started with fuel gauges so I can see some history. Get a scan gauge, and that's going to improve your driving. The driver and the driver's habits account for 35% of fuel economy. So we can take a driver, and we could potentially improve fuel economy 30% or more just by working on the driver's habits and the way they drive, the way they shift, the way they go up and down hills. And that's what the Scan Gauge KR will address. So head on over to the website. You can do everything there. You can sign up for fuel gauges. You can order the Scan Gauge. We'll get it right out to you. And you can sign up for our class. It's all at letstruck.com. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Thanks for joining me. Be safe. Be profitable. Be fit and healthy. Always do the hard work and master the journey. I'm Kevin Rutherford.